The heavy door of the Moretti Family Social Club swung open on a Tuesday afternoon, letting in a shaft of golden sunlight and something nobody expected. A kid. Justin stood in the doorway, backpack hanging off one shoulder, his sneakers scuffed and too small. The conversations died mid-sentence. Espresso cups froze. Someone turned down the jazz music. 12 men in tailored suits stared at the 11-year-old who just walked into their world uninvited. Vincent Moretti, the boss, set down his newspaper, his eyes sharp despite the gray in his slicked-back hair, locked onto the boy's face. That's when he saw it. The purple bruise blooming around Justin's left eye, fresh enough that the edges still carried hints of red. "You lost, kid?" Marco called from the corner, his tone more curious than aggressive. Justin's throat bobbed. His hands twisted the straps of his backpack, and for a second Vincent thought he might bolt. But then the boy straightened his shoulders, lifted his chin, and said the words that would crack open something in every man in that room. "Can you be my dad for one day?" The silence that followed carried weight. Every bad childhood these men had survived pressing into the room. Vincent's eyes found Tony first, foster care who'd aged out alone. Then Sal, whose father vanished before he could walk. Marco's hand unconsciously touched his ribs where his old man's belt had left permanent marks. "Career day," Justin continued, voice steadier now. "At school next Friday. Everyone's bringing their parents to talk about their jobs." He paused, swallowed hard. "I don't have anyone to bring." Vincent stood slowly, his Italian leather shoes clicking on the marble floor. "What about your folks?" "My real dad died in Afghanistan 4 years ago." Justin's voice didn't waver, but his eyes went distant. "And my mom's boyfriend." He stopped, fingers unconsciously touching the bruise. "He's not really the career day type." Sal moved closer, crouching to Justin's eye level. "That shiner. How'd you get it?" "Fell off my bike." "Try again." Justin's facade crumbled. "Dale. That's my mom's boyfriend. He gets mad when she's at work. She does double shifts at the hospital, so she's gone a lot. Yesterday I forgot to take out the trash." His voice dropped to barely a whisper. "He said I was useless, just like my dead dad." The temperature in the room seemed to drop 10 degrees. Marco's jaw clenched. Tony's knuckles went white around his espresso cup. Vincent felt something ignite in his chest. Something protective and ancient. "And school?" Vincent asked gently. "How's that going?" Justin laughed, but there was no humor in it. "There's this kid, Nicholas. He and his friends corner me every day. They call me orphan boy, push me into lockers, steal my lunch." He looked down at his shoes. "Last week they threw my dad's dog tags in the trash. I had to dig through garbage to find them." Vincent remembered his own school days in Little Italy. The hunger, the shame, the way loneliness could feel like drowning on dry land. He'd sworn when he took over the family business that he'd never let another kid feel that powerless. Not if he could help it. "Why us?" Tony asked. "Why the Moretti family?" "Because you're not afraid of anyone." Justin's eyes were bright now, urgent. "Nicholas's dad is some big lawyer. Nobody stands up to them. But you guys," he gestured around the room, "everyone respects you. Everyone's a little scared of you. I thought maybe if you came, just for one day they'd leave me alone. I'd have someone in my corner." That last sentence hit Vincent like a punch. The men looked at each other. No words were spoken, but entire conversations happened in those glances. They'd all been Justin once. Scared, alone, desperate for someone to see them. Vincent made his decision. "Friday, you said?" Justin nodded, hope flickering across his face like sunrise. "What time?" 9:30, room 204. Vincent turned to his associates. "Who's got Friday morning free?" Every single hand went up. "All right then." Vincent looked back at Justin, and for the first time in what looked like years, the kid smiled. "We'll be there. All of us." Justin's eyes went wide. "Really? Really? But Justin," Vincent's voice went serious. "This thing with Dale, does your mom know?" The smile faded. "She's so tired all the time. She's working so hard to keep us afloat after Dad died. I don't want to make things harder. Protecting your mom by taking hits isn't noble, kid. It's just more pain. I don't know what else to do." Vincent knelt down, putting them eye to eye. "You just did it. You asked for help. That takes more guts than most men ever show. He placed a hand on Justin's shoulder. We're going to handle this. Career day is just the beginning. As Justin left, backpack lighter somehow, the social club erupted in quiet conversation. They had 4 days to plan. 4 days to make sure one scared kid learned what it felt like to have 12 fathers show up when it mattered. Vincent watched through the window as Justin walked away and noticed something. The boy's steps were different. Stronger. His steps carried a weight they hadn't before. Not burden, but purpose. Friday morning arrived with gray clouds that threatened rain. Justin woke at 5 a.m., too anxious to sleep. He'd replayed Vincent's promise 1,000 times in his mind, terrified it had been just words. Adults made promises. Adults broke them. That's what he'd learned. He dressed carefully in his only button-up shirt, the one his mom had bought for his dad's funeral. His fingers trembled as he buttoned it. In the kitchen, his mother kissed his forehead, noticing he'd barely touched his cereal. Big day, sweetheart. Yeah, career day. She hesitated. Justin, I'm sorry I couldn't take off work. The hospital is so short-staffed. It's okay, Mom. I figured something out. She studied his face, seeing something different there. Something that looked almost like confidence. You sure you're all right? I'm sure. At school, Nicholas was waiting by the lockers with his usual crew. Brett and Chase, both bigger than Justin. Both cruel in that casual way privileged kids could afford to be. Look who showed up. Nicholas sneered. Ready for your big presentation, orphan boy? Oh wait, you don't have anyone coming, do you? Justin kept walking, head down. My dad's bringing his Mercedes. What's yours bringing? Nicholas laughed. A coffin? Brett shoved Justin into the lockers. His shoulder screamed in pain, but he didn't react. He just kept walking toward room 204, counting his steps, breathing through his nose the way his real dad taught him when the world felt too big. By 9:15, the classroom was filling with parents. Nicholas's father arrived in a 3-piece suit, shaking hands like he was running for office. Brett's mom, a doctor, brought a stethoscope. Chase's dad, a pilot, wore his uniform with crisp authority. Justin sat in the back row watching the clock. The minutes crawled. Each tick of the clock tightened the knot in his chest. They weren't coming. Of course they weren't. Why would they? Then, just past 9:30, the rumble started. It was distant at first, like thunder rolling in from miles away. But it grew and grew until the windows rattled and conversation stopped. And everyone, students, teachers, parents, rushed to look outside. 14 black Cadillac Escalades rolled into the school parking lot in perfect formation. Chrome gleamed even under the gray sky. Engines purred in synchronized harmony. The Moretti family had arrived. Justin's heart nearly exploded. They came. They actually came. Vincent led the procession in the first SUV, his presence commanding. They parked in a perfect V formation, killed their engines simultaneously, and emerged like a military unit. Every man wore an impeccable Italian suit, charcoal, navy, black. Every face carried the weathered look of men who'd survived their own wars. Mrs. Peterson, the teacher, stood frozen at her desk as the men filed into her classroom. They were too big for the space, too powerful, too real. Nicholas's father stepped back. Vincent's bodyguards positioned themselves at strategic points. Justin Miller. Vincent's voice filled the room, carrying the authority of someone used to being obeyed. Justin stood, legs shaking. Here. We're here for you, kid. The classroom exploded in whispers. Nicholas's smirk had vanished. His father looked like he'd swallowed glass. Vincent addressed the class with the calm authority of a CEO. Good morning, everyone. We're representatives of Moretti Enterprises. Justin asked us to talk about what we do, so let's get into it. He started with the basics, how they ran legitimate businesses across Chicago, real estate development, construction companies, import-export operations, the legal framework of building an empire. Marco stepped forward and talked about their community programs, scholarship funds for children who lost parents in military service, fundraisers for veterans, protection services for domestic violence survivors. Most people see the suits and make assumptions, Marco said. They think we're criminals. But family means being there when it counts, especially when it's hard. Then Sal moved to the front. He was quieter than the others, his eyes carrying old wounds. I grew up in a house where love looked like a fist. he began. The room went silent. My father drank. He raged. He made me believe I was nothing. By 13, I was heading down the same path, fighting, stealing, hating everyone, including myself. Justin watched his classmates lean forward. Even Nicholas was listening. Then I met Vincent. He gave me a choice. Keep destroying myself or build something better. This family, they taught me that real strength isn't about violence. It's about protecting people who can't protect themselves. It's about breaking cycles instead of continuing them. Mrs. Peterson was crying quietly at her desk. Tony pulled out a photo. This is Sal at 15 living on the streets. This is Marco after 3 tours in Iraq with nobody waiting at home. This is Vincent the day his daughter said she was proud of him. He looked directly at Justin. We're not perfect. We've all got scars. But we choose every day to be better than what broke us. Vincent turned to Justin. You asked us to be your dad for one day. But here's the thing, kid. Real family doesn't work on schedules. You're stuck with us now. The entire class erupted in applause. Brett was clapping. Chase looked stunned. Nicholas sat frozen, something complicated working across his face. After the presentation, as parents filed out, Nicholas's father approached Vincent with a forced smile. Quite the performance. Vincent met his eyes steadily. Your boy gives Justin trouble. That stops today. The lawyer's smile died. Are you threatening? I'm promising. There's a difference. Outside, as the SUVs prepared to leave, Justin couldn't find words big enough for what he felt. Vincent just squeezed his shoulder. See you tomorrow, kid. We're teaching you about the family business. As 14 engines roared back to life, Justin stood in the parking lot and watched his family drive away. Something shifted in his chest. A door opening he didn't know had been locked. The weekend passed in a blur of normalcy that felt almost surreal. Justin spent Saturday at the Moretti office building learning basic business operations. His mind sharp with curiosity, his smile impossible to wipe away. Vincent taught him about contracts and handshake deals. Sal showed him the difference between legitimate business and the old ways. For 2 days, the weight he'd carried since his father died felt lighter. But Monday brought reality crashing back. Dale had seen the video. Some parent had posted it on Facebook. Local businessmen steal the show at Career Day. And it had spread through the community like wildfire. By the time Dale stumbled home Monday evening, 3 beers deep and smoldering with humiliation, he'd watched it 17 times. Justin heard the truck before he saw it. That particular engine growl that made his stomach clench. He was at the kitchen table doing homework when Dale kicked the door open. You think you're special now? Dale's words slurred at the edges. Got your little mobster friends? Justin's mother wouldn't be home for another 2 hours. He calculated escape routes. Front door blocked. Back door through the kitchen. His phone was upstairs. I asked you a question. Dale moved closer and Justin could smell the beer, the rage, the familiar scent of violence about to break loose. I just needed someone for Career Day. You made me look like garbage. Everyone at the bar was talking about it. Poor Justin, no father figure. Dale's hand shot out and grabbed Justin's shirt, lifting him slightly. You got a father figure right here. You're not my father. The words escaped before Justin could stop them. Dale's face went purple. His fist drew back. Justin closed his eyes, body tensing for impact. The blow never landed. The front door opened. Not kicked. Not forced. Just opened with a key that hadn't existed an hour ago. Vincent walked in first, followed by Marco and Sal. 3 more men flanked the entrance. They moved with unhurried purpose, filling the small house with their presence. Dale's fist remained frozen midair. What the? Get out of my house. Not your house, Vincent said calmly, pulling out his phone. Lease is in Jennifer Miller's name. You're just living here. He tapped the screen. Jennifer gave us a key this afternoon. She's known for a while something was wrong. Just didn't know how to handle it. Dale dropped Justin and lunged toward Vincent. Marco stepped between them with the easy confidence of someone who'd handled much worse. Don't, Marco said quietly. You don't want to do that. Vincent moved past them to Justin, checking him over. You good? Justin nodded, throat too tight for words. Sal placed a manila folder on the kitchen table. It landed with a soft thump that sounded like thunder. "Open it," he told Dale. Dale's bravado flickered. His hands shook as he picked up the folder. Inside were photographs, Justin with bruises over the past 6 months, time-stamped. Medical records from the school nurse documenting suspicious injuries. A written statement from Mrs. Peterson detailing behavioral changes. Text messages Dale had sent Jennifer, threatening and cruel. "Where did you—" "Justin's school nurse has been documenting for months," Vincent explained. "She was building a case, waiting for the right moment. Jennifer's co-workers at the hospital have noticed her injuries too. The ones you blamed on her being clumsy." His voice remained level, almost conversational. "We talked to a lot of people this weekend. Turns out you've left quite the trail." Dale's face had gone from purple to white. "You can't—" "We already did." Marco pulled out another document. "Protective order ready to file. We've got 3 witnesses who will testify about what they've seen. Jennifer's lawyer, a real one, not whatever you threaten her with, is prepared to pursue full custody protection." Vincent leaned against the counter. "Here's how this works. You have 2 choices and you need to make one right now." Dale looked around the room, seeing his options narrow to nothing. "Choice 1, you pack your things, you leave tonight, and you never contact Jennifer or Justin again. You disappear. We'll hold on to these files, but we won't file them. You get to walk away clean, start over somewhere else. And choice 2, we file everything tonight. Police get involved. Child Protective Services gets involved. Jennifer pursues charges for domestic violence. Yes, we've got evidence of that too. You'll be arrested by morning, and everyone in this town will know exactly who you are." Vincent's expression never changed. "Your call." Dale deflated, his bravado collapsing under the weight of consequence. He looked at Justin one last time, and for a moment, something almost like regret crossed his face. But it passed. "I need an hour to pack." "You've got 30 minutes, Sal said, checking his watch. "We'll wait." Less than half an hour later, Dale's truck pulled out of the driveway, packed with everything he owned. The men had stood silent watch as he loaded boxes, ensuring he took nothing that belonged to Jennifer or Justin. As the taillights disappeared, Vincent called Jennifer. "It's done. He's gone. Justin's safe." When Jennifer arrived home 40 minutes later, she found her son sitting at the kitchen table surrounded by 6 men in expensive suits eating pizza they'd ordered. Her eyes went to Justin first, checking for new injuries, seeing none. Then to Vincent. "Is he really gone?" "He won't be back, we made that very clear." She collapsed into a chair as tears came, relief flooding through her like a dam breaking. Pure, overwhelming relief. Marco quietly slid a box of tissues across the table. "Why?" she whispered. "Why would you do this for us?" Vincent looked at Justin, then back at her. "Because someone needed to, and because that kid was brave enough to ask." That night, after the men left, Justin lay in bed staring at the ceiling. The house felt different, lighter. The air moved through rooms that had been suffocating for years. His phone buzzed. A text from Vincent. "Sleep tight, kid. We're around if you need us." That night, Justin slept through to morning, a deep, dreamless sleep he hadn't known in years. In the weeks after Dale's departure, the Moretti office had become Justin's second home. He showed up most afternoons, doing homework in the conference room while men worked on business deals. His grades improved, the bruises faded. His mother smiled more. But Vincent noticed something else. Nicholas had stopped bullying Justin completely. No more shoves, no insults, nothing. But the kid looked worse. Quieter, withdrawn, with dark circles under his eyes that Vincent recognized too well. "Marco," Vincent said one Thursday afternoon. "That Nicholas kid, something's off." "The bully?" "Former bully. I want to know why." Marco made some calls. By Friday, they had answers. Nicholas's mother had died years earlier. Cancer that came fast and left devastation. His father, Tom Bradford, that polished lawyer, had been drowning in grief ever since. Drinking became the only way he could function. Nicholas raised himself while his father worked 16-hour days or sat in his study with bourbon. "The kid's acting out because he's alone," Marco reported. "Dad's physically there but emotionally gone." Vincent drummed his fingers on the mahogany desk. So Nicholas becomes the bully because he's getting bullied at home, not with fists, but with absence. Then we fix it. Tony looked up from his laptop. The kid tortured Justin for months. And Justin had Dale. Nicholas has a ghost wearing his father's face. Vincent stood. We break cycles, that's what we do. The next morning, Vincent and Marco showed up at Tom Bradford's law office, unannounced. Tom looked up from his desk, irritation flashing across his face. Your son is drowning, Vincent said simply. And you're too drunk to notice. My son is fine. When's the last time you had dinner with him? Sober? Vincent waited. Tom's silence answered. When's the last time you asked about his day? Looked at him without seeing your dead wife? You need to leave. We know about the drinking, Tom. We're not here to judge. We're here because we've been you, lost, hurting. Pain so big you need to numb it just to survive. Marco's voice was gentle. Tom's legs seemed to give out. He sat back down heavily. I don't know how to be a father without her. Vincent pulled up a chair. My daughter was 7 when her mother left. I was running the family business, drowning in grief just like you. One night I came home and found her making dinner. A 7-year-old trying to feed herself because I was too broken. His voice roughened. That was my rock bottom. It's not too late for you. Marco slid a business card across the desk. Veteran support group meets Tuesday and Thursday nights. You served, right? Tom nodded, surprised they knew. So did half of us. These guys get it. Marco leaned forward. Your son needs his father back, the real one. Tom's hand shook as he picked up the card. And if I try? We'll help Nicholas too. Youth mentorship program we run. Vincent stood. But this only works if you both want it. Days later, Tom attended his first meeting. He broke down twice, nearly left 3 times. But Vincent sat beside him the entire 2 hours. Nicholas was harder to reach. When Sal approached him after school, the kid's defenses shot up. I'm not going to some stupid program. 12 kids your age, learning business skills, talking about real stuff. Sal crossed his arms. And Justin goes. That stopped Nicholas cold. Justin's in it? Once a week. He's been learning about investment strategies. Nicholas looked away, jaw working. I was horrible to him. Yeah, you were. Ask him yourself why he'd want you there. The confrontation happened at the Moretti office the following Saturday. Justin was reviewing spreadsheets when Nicholas walked in, escorted by Sal. The room went quiet. Justin stood slowly. They stared at each other across the conference room. I'm sorry. Nicholas's voice cracked. For everything. The things I said about your dad, the locker stuff, the dog tags. I was angry at my own life and took it out on you. Justin studied him for a long moment. He'd learned something from Vincent. Carrying hate was heavier than letting it go. Your mom died, right? Nicholas nodded. That sucks. My dad died too. Justin set down the paperwork. You want to help me understand these financial reports? I'm terrible at balance sheets. Nicholas's eyes widened. Serious? Vincent says we're better at building things than breaking them. Might as well start now. The years unfolded one day at a time. Justin grew taller, his confidence solidified. Nicholas became his unlikely friend, both fixtures at the Moretti office. Tom Bradford got sober and started coaching Little League. Jennifer Miller finished her nursing degree. Graduation day arrived with perfect sunshine. Justin stood at the podium in his cap and gown. In the 3rd row sat his mother, beaming. Behind her, 12 men in dark suits stood against the back wall. Everyone talks about family like it's just biology, Justin began. But I learned something different. Family is the people who show up when your world falls apart. His eyes found Vincent. Family is a group of businessmen who answered a desperate kid's question and stayed long after they had to. They taught me that strength isn't about intimidation. It's about protection. That real men build others up instead of tearing them down. Nicholas, sitting with his father, wiped his eyes. Tom Bradford, sober for 5 years now, squeezed his son's shoulder. They'd driven to the ceremony together, windows down, talking about college plans. Small things. The kind of conversation he'd thought he'd lost forever. So to everyone here, find your people, be someone's people, show up, stay. That's what matters. After the ceremony, Vincent handed Justin a small velvet box. Inside was a gold signet ring with the Moretti family crest. "You earned this," Vincent said. Justin slid it on, and the men erupted in applause, every single one of them. His mother hugged him tight, whispering, "Your father would be so proud." "Which one?" Justin asked, grinning through tears. She laughed. "All of them." Justin found family where he least expected it. And those men proved that real strength is knowing when to protect, not hurt. What would you do if a child asked for your help? Share your thoughts below. And if this story moved you, hit that subscribe button, because at Embrace the Journey, we believe everyone deserves someone who shows up. See you in the next story.